Hey everybody, we're back. Brand new Cabral concept. Today's episode 2966. We're going to go over today my simplest tip to help you lose the weight, and it has to do specifically with something I just discovered after using a continuous glucose monitor. Now, I've been using a continuous glucose monitor for many years. I used my first continuous glucose monitor back in 2012. So I'm no stranger to using a monitor which simply attaches to the body that allows you to see what your blood sugar levels are every minute or so during the day. And while I don't feel that I need to wear a continuous glucose monitor all the time in order to measure what my levels are, it is nice to do for 30 days or so to get a feel for which meals are spiking your blood sugar the most that don't come down over a period of about 2 to 3 hours. Remember, it's okay to have your blood sugar go up. It really is, contrary to a lot of what social media experts are saying. Totally normal. Your body's equipped to do that. It actually can help with cortisol levels, leptin levels, and much more. You just don't want an enormous spike. And what you also don't want, and this is worse, is for your blood sugar not to come down after 2 to 3 hours. That's a problem. Those are the meals that I look at saying, we can improve this, right? So even though I've been using a glucose monitor for quite some time, and I've been in the health and wellness and body transformation space for 25 plus years, what I began to realize was that one of the secrets to success for people being able to stay lean was being able to maintain a lower to normal blood glucose level overnight. And what was happening, and I was finding in my practice, because I was having people I was having them run what's called the stress, mood, and metabolism test. That gives us estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA, so we can make sure the sex hormones are normal. Cortisol levels, make sure cortisol wasn't elevated at night. Then it looks at all your thyroid hormones, it looks at vitamin D, and it looks at your blood sugar. And people were having pretty normal blood sugar, like hemoglobin A1Cs of 5.5 or below. So I was like, okay, it doesn't seem like too big of an issue there. However, what was happening is they were having dinner too close to bed, or the dinner that they were having kept their blood sugar elevated for 3, 4, 5 hours or more because it was a very complex meal, and their blood sugar never really dropped below 100 all throughout their rest, their sleep. That is a problem. And now I'm seeing it more and more now that I'm having more people test their blood glucose levels overnight while they're sleeping. Because this monitor just attaches to your body, and again, you can get results from it whenever you just look inside the app. And so what I found was is that people, of course, are doing their exercise earlier in the day, and that's great. Meaning, you want to do a workout per day. You want to do more days than not. They were doing it first thing in the morning. They were doing it at lunchtime during work or so, or they might even been doing it like I typically do, mid-afternoon right before dinner or late afternoon before dinner. The issue is this. Yes, their blood sugar would come down then, everything looked good, but when they would have dinner, they would have a lot of fat, heavy protein, maybe some carbs, and it would just keep their blood sugar elevated for quite some time. But the worst part, as I just said, is that it didn't come down. And when I started to talk about this, and I gave many tips about, looking at blood sugar while you sleep to make sure that it's in the 70s, 80s, or maybe low 90s at the highest, so that you can tap into more fat reserves as fuel. That's the goal. You want to get those blood sugar levels down, especially for anybody with weight loss or body transformation-based goals. Now, overall health, of course, it's important. If you have glucose levels, elevated glucose, of course, it's important then as well. But for body transformation, it's paramount. You want to be tapping into blood sugar. You want to be tapping into body fat, adipose tissue stores, so fat stores, between meals, and definitely overnight as you're doing your intermittent fast. So what I started telling people is to stay active after dinner. Be active, meaning that you don't need to do a full workout, because I don't think that most people are going to do that, and it would probably disturb your sleep. But I said, just make sure you keep your body active. Well, after wearing that continuous glucose monitor again myself, and I'm someone that typically blood sugar drops back down fairly easily. That's just one thing about my body. There are lots of negatives, we'll put it that way, in terms of trying to balance inflammation and my methylation pathways and much more. But blood sugar is something that I've always been able to keep normal, without a doubt, if not bordering sometimes on low. But what I found is that at night it's the most challenging. specifically after dinner. And that just like most people, doing the dishes, moving around, picking up around the house, getting my daughters ready for bed, getting ready for the next day, it wasn't enough. So my thinking was, well, we just need to stay on our feet and just get steps. It's not, because it's actually really low level heart rates. Meaning like it's nowhere near zone 2. It's typically just like low zone 1. It's just like it's very little effort. Maybe it's 50% of your max heart rate. So just 220 minus your age, just for basics. Let's say you're 40 years old, 220 minus 40 is 180. That's your max heart rate. Maybe walking around your house gets you up to 90. That's 50%. You need to get closer to 60 to 70%. That's what I found. So now I said, okay, yeah, this makes sense. Because really, the best way to get your blood sugar down, this is what I found in my practice over the last 15 years of using CGMs and glucometers with wellness clients. Best way without a doubt is cardio. Just steady state, boring, zone 2 to low zone 3 cardio. Super boring. However, it just sucks the glucose right out of the blood. You just utilize it. You're tapping into body fat. Yes, that's part of zone 2, right? But you're also using glucose. And I found it to work amazingly well. So I've used that. Again, I can't give you any medical advice, medical treatment plans, medical cures, medical diagnosis. But anybody dealing with high blood sugar, high hemoglobin A1C, et cetera, every single one of those private clients in my practice that work directly with me, they're doing cardio after dinner. They are. And it works tremendously well. So we have to do it light because we don't want to disturb their sleep. Or for regular everyday people, we don't need to. What we have to look at, though, is going for a walk. And I know how boring that seems, but it's literally game-changing. You can go for a walk on your own treadmill. If you do, don't jog. You don't even need to do that. Just set an incline. Literally set it for 3, 5 to 10 degrees. You don't need to go to 10 degrees if you've never done 3 degrees. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do a whole podcast on this. Walking at a 3-degree incline at 3 miles per hour, that's a workout. Like if people haven't tried that before, it's amazing. Yes, of course, you can start to increase. I know there's people out there that do 3 miles an hour at 15-degree grade. I get it. I understand. But like, let's talk about the whole world out there, right? Like many people are going to find 3 times 3 pretty challenging. So you can do a couple things. One, you can walk your dog. Walking my dog doesn't work though, because my dog's not going to walk at a quick enough pace in order for me to touch that zone 2 base cardio. It's not difficult. Again, it's not like you're speed walking. You just need to walk at a decent clip. That's all. And if you're wearing an Apple Watch or a Garmin watch or any type of heart rate monitor, you're going to be able to see yourself get above that 100 beats per minute. Doesn't need to be 120, but you want to get above that 100 beats per minute. And now how long do you need to do it for? Not long. 20 to 30 minutes. That's it. 20 to 30 minutes, I'm telling you right now, it's a small time commitment, but it makes an enormous difference in terms of body transformation and weight loss. It really does. And I've shared a whole podcast on this before, but doing fasted cardio, if you're trying to lose weight before breakfast or upon waking, it's amazing. It really is. Like, people can try to refute these types of things, but myself and my colleagues have been using this in private practice since the 90s. And I learned it from bodybuilders trying to keep muscle mass on, but wanting to lose body fat. They used to walk for 30 to 60 minutes, fasted 20, 30 minutes upon waking, or a very light jog. That's it, very low intensity. And it worked tremendously well, which is why they still use it today. And we use it in our practice as well. So yes, upon waking, absolutely fantastic to do fasted walking or fasted zone 2 cardio. So basically just 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. Okay, but it does not solve the issue of overnight glucose. So let's say you eat dinner at 6 p.m. You don't want your blood sugar elevated from 6 p.m. to 6 in the morning or 8 in the morning. It's defeating a lot of your intermittent fast. So what we want to do is you finish dinner at 6:30, 7 o'clock. Yes, you still have to clean up, right? So you still clean up for dinner, you still do those things, but within a half hour of finishing dinner, you've done all your chores that you need to. Try to go outside just even for a 20-minute walk. Try to get the whole family to go for a walk after dinner. That sets in good, healthy habits. Go with your partner for a walk. Put on a podcast, go for a walk. Do something that we call temptation bundling, like do something fun listen to the podcast, or if you're get on your treadmill, watch the video that you want, the TV show, have an after dinner chat with your partner. If you have kids, get them out, get the whole family walking, get that dog to walk faster if you want. But that is the way to dramatically, and I'm not talking about going to low blood sugar, but dramatically bring down glucose levels, improve blood sugar, tap more into body fat stores overnight when your body was meant to use that as a fuel source. Remember, the lower your energy output, the greater percentage of body fat that you're burning. So keep in mind, when we're sleeping, hopefully in bed for 8 hours a night, the greatest percentage of fuel we should be burning is body fat, as long as we're bringing down those glucose levels in order to be able to properly tap into it. So hopefully today's show was helpful. I told you, really simple tip, super simple. Many people won't do it, but those who do will see the benefit. So another way that I didn't mention that's super simple to get in your steps, and this is what I will do if it's not good weather outside, or it's too dark, or it's just not appropriate to take a walk after dinner, is that instead of having a big, expensive treadmill, I have something just called a walking pad. It's super simple. It's tiny. I think it's like 2 feet long. That's it. And when you unfold it, it's 4 feet. So basically you can fold it in half. I slide it underneath my standing desk. And if I want, real simple, what I can do is after dinner, after the chores, just for 20 minutes, I can hop on this walking pad. I can joke around with my daughters, whatever I want to do. I can put on a podcast if I want, whatever I'd like. And it has settings from anywhere from like 1 mile per hour to like 3.75 miles per hour. And I just typically walk at 3 miles per hour. And I just walk for 20 minutes. Maybe if I have a little longer, I'll do a little bit longer, but never really more than 25, 30 minutes. So 20-minute walk, super simple. The walking pad costs a fraction of a treadmill would cost. You can slide it under your bed. You can literally put it anywhere. It's very small, fairly lightweight. I'll link up the one that I use at stephencabral.com/2966. But all my favorite companies that I use in my own life and in my practice are always at stephencabral.com/resources. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about today's show. Any other ideas for shows? We'd love to hear from them. And of course, if the show was helpful, do feel free to share it with anyone you believe it could serve. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.